Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Bit of a discussion piece today, and just something about sub-hilt fighters. I've always said I've long liked this niche in the knife world. Not that I've ever wanted, ever perceived that I ever needed a sub-hilt fighter. I don't get into many knife fights, as in I've never been in a knife fight and never will be in a knife fight. But I've always loved the idea of the sub-hilt fighter. It was pioneered by the late Bob Loveless, and he basically took the idea of the sub-hilt fighter and made it his own and developed it. And I've got 3 examples of it. I'm not going to get any more because even though the Black Bear Classic is being brought back out, I see that Cleavers has put the price of it up again, and then nearing now a $500 knife, and I am not going to get one. So I do have an OSS, which is the double-edged version and of it. I'll show you in a minute, and I don't need a upmarket version of that. You can get a Sanmai OSI, but they are very rare. My old man's got one, and I probably wouldn't be able to buy it off him, and I can't find one on the secondary market, so I'll probably never get one. So anyway, I'll just have to be happy with the Oz 8 version of the OSS. Anyway, I've got 3 versions of the sub-hilt fighter, and that's my collection of sub-hilt fighters. I love them. I really enjoy them. They're just they're unusual and a niche in that, a little niche part of the knife history, and I don't know, I just have been really drawn towards them. Now that's the OSI single edge version of it, typical sub hilt. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the sub hilt, so it gives you a lot of control. They do say that they have advantages and disadvantages of it. The main advantages is it gives you extra control in the grip for vigorous action, so penetration, so thrusting in and out, so you can obviously get extra control. But when you read about them, they reckon you can't get extra. The disadvantage is you can't have extra grips, which they're talking about going into the ice pick grip, but obviously you can in that way. They're talking about this way, but in a reverse ice grip, no dramas. So that's sort of a little bit of a moot point, yeah, as far as that goes. But as far as just a standard fighting knife, I think the sub-hilt fighter is probably one of the quintessential fighting knives that you can get, and especially with the double-edged version, it is close to being, and I'm no knife fighter, I've never been trained or anything, but with the double-edged version sub-hilt fighter, I think that's getting close to being a perfect fighting knife as far as that goes. There'd be a lot of options for it. Yeah, so like as far as it goes, and this is the OSS. This is why I don't think I'll ever need to worry about getting a Black Bear, because the Black Bear Classic is just a upmarket version of that with a Sanmai and a micarta handle, and I think they've got brass hilt and sub-hilt. But yeah, they're a $500 knife, and I'm not going to get one. But yeah, that's my OSS. Lucky enough to get it onto the secondary market. Should learn to clean my blades. Obviously been handling them, had a little bit of a scuff mark on it there. But yeah, that's the OSS. OSI up against it, single edge version. These were made so that they could get into countries that don't like double edge versions. I live in Queensland, I'm allowed to have double edge knives. So yeah, exactly the same knife, just single edged version. This one has a lot of like advantages, not advantages, but you could use this for like bushcrafting and that. Not so much bushcrafting, but just general camp duty and that, because it's a drop point knife. So like that blade shape is very useful for a lot of tasks. So yeah, it has a lot of crossover. The double edge version could still be used for that. It's just you don't really need the double edge version. Like it's a stabbing knife mainly for it. So yeah, that's the OSS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, I marked the sheath. Oh no, that's the OSS. Yeah, I put it in the wrong sheath. They do fit in the same sheath, but yeah. And then obviously the other one I've got, and probably my favourite out of all of them, is the Boar Collector. I've really fallen for this knife. I still think it's pretty ugly as far as the CX style knife, but for $55 from Cleavers, you just can't go wrong with it. It's and you honestly don't need to loop up with it with the sub-hilt. But yeah, fantastic knife. And if you notice, extra length in its blade. They're a little bit longer. So yeah, they're quite a large knife actually. So yeah, they're a big knife. But I just wanted to showcase my sub-hilt fighters, and just yeah, just a discussion piece, and yeah, just a little bit of loving, a little bit of my love for sub-hilt fighters. I really do like them. They certainly are an interesting knife, and you won't see like people will ask you why you have a fighting knife, but for hunting and that, like for pig hunting, pig sticking, this is the niche that they would fall into very well. You know, like certainly they're probably one of the best stylists, particularly this one. For $55, you're getting a purpose built pig sticker, and that's what I would be going for. And with the OSI, you know, it could certainly go over to, because of the drop point, it could be used for other things other than just as a fighting knife. You know, like that drop point is certainly useful for other uses other than to that. You could do it for many other things, and the sub-hilt doesn't really get in the way that much, you know, like it just helps with the grip, and it certainly does that, you know, like that's in the hammer grip there, and it fits my hands really well. And normal hand, like you get small, medium hands, they fit anyway. They just stack up here a little bit less, you know, like, yeah. So, but anyway, that's the sub-hilt fighters, and I definitely don't have all of them. There are several other makers that do make sub-hilt fighters. I won't be getting the Black Bear Classic because, yeah, as I said, they're an expensive knife now. They're yeah, over $400, and I think they're nearly $500 Aussie now. And yeah, a couple other makers do make them, but yeah, I'm not buying knives at the moment. And the Sanmai OSS is very rare, and I basically can't get them anymore. Yeah, I tried on the secondary market a little while ago, couldn't get one, and any of the other makers, I really don't go for them, and I don't like them. They don't really suit me as such. Anyway, that's just a bit of a discussion piece, me rambling on about one of my favorite niche knives that are a bit rare. You don't often see the sub-hilt fighters around that much, and yeah, that's probably why I'm drawn to them a bit, because they are they're a bit of a novelty and a bit of a rarity around the place. Yeah, not many people have several, or like even have one, let alone a couple versions of them. But anyway, yeah, that's my sub-hilt fighters, or yeah, sub-hilt fighter knives. Thanks for watching.